Hi, my name is Michelle and I'm an independent demonstrator here in Australia with Stampin' Up. What I'd like to share with you today, is this cute little box that I've made, and it holds within it a little block of soap. Now this soap is approximately 5 centimeters square and it's got a 1.8 centimeter height. So to make this box, I need to make the box 5.5 centimeters square by around about 2 centimeters, just so then my little soap will fit nicely inside my box, and then it has a belly band around it. So what I've done, let me just take those out of the road. I've drawn up a little plan here. Now this will be all on my blog. And what I've done is I've drawn up a plan where I've got a 2 centimeter wall height on my box and a 5.5 centimeter square base. So with my plan, I've got the front of my box, the top of my box, the back side, so we've gone the front of the box, across the top of the box, the back of the box, and then underneath it, which is coming here, and then back up the front again. And that's there. So we've got the front, the back, and the front, and the top and the bottom. And that gives me a measurement through there of 17 centimeters. To get the width of my box, I've gone up the side of my box, which is 2 centimeters, across the width of my box of 5.5, and down the side again, which of another 2 centimeters, which gives me a measurement of 9.5 centimeters. So my piece of cardstock that I need is going to be 9.5 centimeters by 17 centimeters. And then we're going to score it along all these score lines. Now this will be on my blog, so you can refer to it. So basically what we've got here, I've got a piece of cardstock here that I've already cut at 9.5 by 17. I've already started scoring it just to make this video go a little bit quicker. So I've already scored it down the sides here, 2 centimeters in from each side. So let me just pop that to one side and I'll bring in my cutting tool. Now with this cutting tool you can score as well as cut. So the dark grey blade is your cutting blade, the light grey blade is your scoring blade. So I'm going to move that cutting blade right down the bottom so it's right out of my road, so I don't cut anything where I don't want to. So as I said, I've already done these score lines, so I'm just going to show you. So we're going to take the 9.5 centimeter piece and take it right to the very top of our cutting tool. Now Stampin' Up have given us a very good stop mark there, so we can't go anywhere further than that. Now there's your cutting line down through there, so your blade goes through there, but we're going to use the 2 centimeter measurement to do our sides off to the right hand side of that groove. So we're going to take it at 2 centimeters and run our blade, turn it around and do 2 centimeters again on the other side, again scoring with our blade. Then we need to actually do our score lines down the length. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start by taking this side here, so I'm going to now put the 17 centimeter mark at the top, and I'm going to take this right hand side to that 2 centimeter line on my right hand. I'm going to score it again at 2 centimeters, but this time I'm not going to take it out. I still need to do more score lines, but I'm going to turn this around just so then I can do the rest of my score lines going to the left of my cutting tool. So we've already done that first 2 centimeter one, so the next one is 5.5 centimeters long, so it's going to go to back down, move our edge here to 7.5 centimeters. So I'm going to score that now at 7.5 centimeters. Then I'm going to move it along another 2 centimeters, which is going to take it to 9.5. Score. And then our next one, our last one, is at 15 centimeters and score. Okay, so let's just remove our cutting tool out of the area there. Now what we need to do is actually fold along all of these score lines that we've just made. So I'm just quickly folding all of those, and then the ones running down the length as well. Now with a pair of scissors, what we need to do now is cut from this edge here up to that first 2 centimeter mark. Now we're going to do that right along Whoops, sorry, got a bit of paper on that. So we're going to do that right along on that score line, on each of those score lines, up to that first score line on the 9.5 centimetre width. Turn it around, do it on the other side as well. And these are going to form the sides of our box and our tabs, which are going to fold onto the inside of our box to form our box. Once we've done that, we've cut all of those. Once we've done that, we need to cut some wedges on these tab pieces. So we've got 6 tabs. Got 2 at each end and 2 in the middle. So that's going to form our fronts of our boxes and our back of our box. But we need to actually cut a little wedge, and that'll just help our box to fold nice and tidy. Just on those tabs, not on the side panels, only on the tabs. Both sides. Now when it comes to putting your box together, you've got a choice. You can either use the new Seal Plus, because that's really strong for holding together 3D objects. Just make sure we've got rid of all those little pieces we've just cut out. Okay, now this is the side I've scored on, and that's going to cause what we call a valley. On the other side, which is going to be the inside of my box, it's caused a slight mountain. So we need to put some adhesive on these tabs, but on the right side of my box, which is where my valleys are. I like to use the tear and tape. It's up to you. As I said, you could use the Seal Plus, but I'm going to continue using my tearing tape. I'm just going to put a piece of tearing tape along that score line on each of my tabs only. Turn that around, do the other side as well. You could put another piece of tearing tape if you want down the bottom ends, but I don't find that that's really required. Okay, so now we've got all that tearing tape. One other thing we do need, to be able to get into my box, I've actually used a small circle punch. But unfortunately we don't carry the circle punches anymore. So what I've found, if you use your Timeless label punch, if you get a pencil and just mark, that's roughly halfway, so we know that that's 5.5 centimeters across there. So you're looking at around about 2.8, and I'm just going to put a bit of a mark there so I know that that's the front of my box and that's the center of my box. I do have to fold one of these in to be able to get it in, but if you have a look at the Timeless label punch, it's got a nice curve on the end. So that's what we're going to use to make that piece for our, whoops, I put both those ends in. So what I need to do is work upside down. That makes it easier. I can see what I'm doing now. And I'm going to slip, whoops, that in. Now the curve starts right there, so I'm going to line up just by eye. I'm going to judge the center of that curve up there, and I'm putting it right onto those corners. So it's actually going to give it a nice little curve back to the box and punch. So it's just going to give us a little curve like that. Okay, I didn't take that piece out. Okay, has taken a little bit of a nick out of there, but that's okay because you're not going to see that. That's going to get folded away. So let me get rid of all of those. So we're just going to, that's going to be our top of our box. We're going to start off by working at the base of our box. So we're going to form, this section here is going to form the bottom of our box. So we're going to take off you can use your nails or use a pair of scissors. Unfortunately my long nails, I lost my nails, so whoops, don't want to lose that. Just take off the backing of our tear and tape just on those 4 tabs. Whoops, I'm losing too much there. You can rub this down with your bone folder to make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay, so all those little backing pieces are off. Now what we need to do is we're going to fold our tabs in, and this is our side wall of our box, and we're going to take this cut line here to the edge of this fold here on the front of our box. So I'm going to fold that until that cut line and that edge meet nicely, and then push it closed. Do the same on the other side. Take that cut line to that fold, the front of our box, and then we're going to do the same with these two center pieces here. So again, I'm just going to fold that back on itself just so it's out of my road. Take that cut line to that fold line and seal it closed, and then pop that tab on the inside, take that cut line to the fold and close. So there is the bottom of our box. Okay, so now we just have the top of our box. So we're just going to do exactly the same thing, but with the last two tabs. So let's just take those backing pieces off. Oops, that one didn't want to come off too easily. Get rid of those. Again, fold our tab in. Take that side of the box to that fold line. Fold that tab in and do the same there. So that's formed our box. So there's our bottom, and our lid of our box is just going to fold over the top like that. Now let's have a look and see if that little, block of soap actually fits in there nicely. So there's our soap. It's going to fit in there beautifully. And there's our lid closing down. So now what we need to do is we're going to make a belly band. Now I'm not going to show you how to decorate the belly band. All I've done there is I've stamped on a piece of Whisper White cardstock one of the beautiful peony flowers, the smallest one, and then I found another stamp set which had For You on it, and I've just stamped For You directly on top and punched a small hole, wrapped some beautiful tulle, polka dot tulle ribbon around my box and tied it in a bow, and then I just had a little bit of old Whisper White baker's twine which I tied onto my tag and just tied that onto my bow. Now I have put glue dots underneath my bow just to hold it in place, and glue dots on the back here just to hold that in place. But how I got my belly band was, my belly band's 4.5 centimeters wide by 20 centimeters in length. So once I've got my box done and my soap's in there, I've just gone from the back, I've just popped my belly band on and wrapped it around. Now I'm not wrapping it around too tight. Now all I'm just going to do now is just make some very light crease marks where I want those folds to be. Take it off, and now I'm going to actually fold each one of those folds firmly to give me a nice crease line. Now I didn't make the belly band tight because I want to be able to take the belly band off and on easily. Because you've put a lot of effort making this box, it'll be nice whoever you gave it to maybe even repurpose the box and use it again. So once I've done that, I'm going to get my tear and tape again. Run a little bit of that on the back of my belly band. Got my soap. Okay, there's my front. Making sure my piece of DSP, my flowers, going in the direction I want them to go. Again, I'm going to wrap my belly band around. You could have pulled the backing off this beforehand and then pop that on. So there you go, your belly band is on there. So all you've got left to do now is put your piece of ribbon around there, tie it in a bow and make a tag and add it to it. And there is a beautiful little gift that you could give to anybody at any time. It's great to have a few of these just put aside for that moment when you need to have a quick little gift for somebody just to say thank you, or for any other reason. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you like my little gift box of soap. You can, you could use any block of soap that you have, beautiful ones from gift shops and so forth. Just measure it up and work out what size you need to make your box. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye.